Ladies and gentlemen, a wise person once told me, dreams don't work unless you do. And the more I walk through this journey called life, the more I realize how true those words really are. You can't just dream your way to success. You can't wish your way into greatness. Dreams are beautiful, but they're only the blueprint. You are the builder. And yet so many of us spend our entire lives trying to fit in, trying to mold ourselves into what we think the world wants us to be. We chase approval. We crave validation. We try to blend into circles, cliques, trends, and groups. We bend ourselves to fit into sororities, social scenes, even relationships, hoping someone will finally see us as enough. But here's the truth. The very people we admire, the ones we put on pedestals, the icons, the leaders, the visionaries, they're not the ones who blended in. They're the ones who stood out. They didn't follow the crowd. They walked their own path. They didn't ask for permission. They gave themselves the authority to be different. Think about it. Every great story, every breakthrough, every innovation, it didn't come from someone who was trying to fit in. It came from someone who dared to stand alone. Someone who believed in something long before the world agreed. And the thing that separates those people from the rest is not luck. It's not talent alone. It's preparation. Because when you are prepared, fear cannot control you. When you've put in the hours, when you've done the work, when you've built the foundation brick by brick, fear has nowhere to stand. There's no fear of failure. When you've trained for the fall, there's no fear of rejection. When you've built your worth from within, there's no fear of the unknown. When you've armed yourself with discipline, knowledge, and faith, you see, failure isn't the end. It's not even the enemy. It's the process. It's the greatest teacher you'll ever have. Most people stop when they fail. They walk away assuming that failure is a sign they're not good enough. But the truth is, failure is feedback. It's information. It's life saying, this path needs adjusting. Every time you fail, you're learning something. You're collecting data. You're refining your approach. You're discovering what doesn't work so you can uncover what does. And yes, I failed. You failed. We all have, and we will again. Because failure is not something you escape. It's something you embrace. The question is, what will you do with it? Because failure can either be your prison or your passport. It can chain you down or it can carry you forward. It all depends on how you choose to use it. So ask yourself, what would my future look like if I truly wanted something so deeply, so passionately, that I was willing to prepare for it every single day, even when I was afraid? What if you wanted it so bad that you stopped waiting for the perfect moment and started creating one? What if you were so committed that fear became irrelevant? Not because it disappeared, but because it no longer defined you. There's a book that says, feel the fear and do it anyway, and that's exactly what preparation gives you. The courage to act in spite of fear. Because fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal, a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone where growth happens. And growth is never painless. It's stretching. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. You can't control every circumstance, every curveball, every heartbreak, but you can control your reaction. You can control your effort. You can control your preparation. No matter who you are, no matter where you've come from, no matter how far behind you feel, you have the power to remove the lid that's been placed over your life. We all have one. A lid of doubt, a lid of fear, a lid of comfort, a lid of excuses. It's that invisible ceiling that tells you this is as far as you'll ever go. And the tragedy is most people never take it off. They live their whole lives capped by limitations they accepted without questioning. So, how do you know if you've still got the lid on? Here are some clues. If you wake up in the morning and you're not excited about life, the lid is on. If you feel stuck, bored, or unfulfilled, the lid is on. If you always have time to say yes to everyone else's requests, but never time to pursue your own calling, the lid is on. If your dreams sound reasonable to everyone around you, the lid is on, because real dreams aren't supposed to sound reasonable. They're supposed to sound ridiculous. They're supposed to make people doubt you. They're supposed to make you doubt yourself. If your dream doesn't make you a little scared, a little uncomfortable, a little restless, it's not big enough. When you tell your vision to your friends and they all say, "Yeah, that makes sense," you're dreaming too small. Because great dreams don't make sense at first. Great dreams challenge logic. They defy your current capacity. They demand growth. So take the lid off. Stop shrinking yourself to fit a world that's waiting for you to expand. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable in the dark. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. They'll never come. Perfection is a mirage. Preparation is the key. And faith is the engine. The people who changed the world aren't the ones who had it all figured out. They're the ones who kept showing up, unpolished, uncertain, and unafraid to fail. Until they got it right. They're the ones who believed when no one else did. Who worked when no one was watching. Who prepared in the shadows until the moment came to shine. So don't run from the work. Embrace it. Let the grind refine you. Let failure teach you. Let preparation anchor you, because when preparation meets opportunity, that's when people call it luck. But luck is just the reward for those who never gave up. So today, make a choice. Stop fitting in. Stand out. Stop hiding behind fear. Step into purpose. Stop talking about what you're going to do and start doing it. Because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs you. The real you, the prepared you, the fearless you. And remember this, dreams don't work unless you do. So wake up with purpose, work with discipline, fail with courage, learn with humility, and rise with faith. Because one day when you look back, you won't regret the nights you stayed up working. You won't regret the risks you took. You won't regret the times you fell and got back up. You'll regret the moments you hesitated, the chances you didn't take, the dreams you left unlived. So take the lid off, step forward, be bold, be prepared, and do the work. Because your dreams are waiting on you, man. Your dream shouldn't make sense to everybody. If every person you share your vision with nods their head and says, "Yeah, I can see that," then you're dreaming too small. A real dream, a God-sized dream, is supposed to make people pause. It's supposed to make them look at you sideways and ask, "How are you going to do that?" That's when you know you're on to something. That's when you know the lid is off. Because when your dream stretches the imagination, when it looks impossible from the outside, that's when it's real, that's when it's alive. If I were you, I'd take the lid off. I'd stop playing small. I'd stop waiting for everyone to understand what's burning inside of me, 'cause they're not supposed to get it. They weren't given the vision you were. Most people are always waiting. They're always getting ready to get ready. They're always preparing to prepare. They're stuck in set mode. But not you. You've got to move. You've got to act. You've got to go. When the idea comes, when the vision strikes, when the dream calls, you don't need 100 confirmations. You don't need a round table of approval. You need courage. You need faith. You need to move into action. Boom. Just like that. Step, move, act. Because every time you take a step toward your dream, you're uncovering it. Every action is a shovel in the dirt, digging your dream back out from the weight of doubt, fear, and time. See, the true mark of a champion isn't perfection. It's persistence. It's resilience. A real champion doesn't run when the dirt starts flying. They don't quit when life throws dust on their vision. They shake it off. They rise again. They keep digging. They keep moving because they know buried beneath that dirt is destiny. Buried beneath that dirt is greatness. Every bit of opposition you're facing right now, every obstacle, every delay, every attack, it's not a sign that you're off track. It's confirmation that you're on the right one. You wouldn't be facing this much resistance if there wasn't something powerful inside of you. You wouldn't have this much coming against you if you weren't carrying something valuable. The dream is still alive. You may have tried and failed. Maybe you stepped out last year or 5 years ago or even 40 years ago and it didn't work out. Nobody believed. Nobody helped. You were left standing there alone. But I'm here to tell you, try again. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your season. Your destiny is calling, and can I tell you something? Your dream is not dead. It's just not in season yet. The seed didn't fail. It's just been growing underground. The roots have been forming. The soil has been shifting. The timing is aligning. Your time is coming. Promotion is coming. Good breaks are on the way. Doors are about to open that no one can shut. The promises you've been standing on. The prayers you've been whispering in the dark. The vision you've been carrying in your heart. They're not forgotten. Lack is not your destiny. Struggle is not your identity. Barely getting by is not the end of your story. These light afflictions, these temporary setbacks, they're not here to break you. They're here to build you. They're temporary, but the glory that's coming, that's eternal. So, start speaking faith again. Say it out loud. This is my year. This is my year to get healthy and whole. This is my year to meet the people I was destined to meet. This is my year to advance in my career. This is my year to step into a new level of destiny. This is my year to accomplish dreams I've been holding on to for years. This is my year to break free from depression, from doubt, from delay. This is my year for restoration, for renewal, for redemption. This is my year for double favor, double peace, double progress. This is my year for vindication, for healing, for joy. But it all starts with your mind. You've got to get your thoughts going in the right direction. You've got to believe again. You've got to see yourself walking in victory even before you touch it. Here's the secret. The people who do the most with their lives, the ones who walk with confidence, who radiate assurance, who seem unstoppable, they're not fearless. They've just learned how to face fear. They've stared down the doubt. They've walked through the storms. They've looked fear in the eye and said, "You will not have me." They didn't linger in it. They didn't let it linger in them. They felt the fear, and they did it anyway. So don't resent your competitors. Don't hate the people running beside you. Respect them. Learn from them. Let them sharpen you. Because competition can refine you, not define you. Remember, the lid is off. The dream is alive. The time is now. So get up, shake the dirt off, speak life, walk forward. Because what's ahead of you is greater than what's behind you. This is your year, your breakthrough, your restoration, your turn. Someone once asked me a question that changed the way I look at life. They said, "Who's your hero?" And at that moment, I didn't have an answer. I paused. I said, "You know what? I don't know. Let me think about that. Give me a couple of weeks." So I went away. I sat with it. I wrestled with it. I looked around at the world, at the people I admired, at the legends, the mentors, the greats. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized my hero wasn't someone else. So I came back and I said, "I've got it. I know who my hero is." They said, "Who?" I said, "It's me in 10 years. They laughed, but I was serious. See, that's the point. My hero isn't someone I've already met. It's not someone out there. My hero is me, the man I'm still becoming. 10 years went by. I turned 25. And that same person came back around. They said, "Well, are you your hero yet?" And I said, "Not even close." They asked, "Why not?" And I said, "Because my hero is me at 35. You see, every day, every week, every month, every year, my hero is always 10 years ahead. I'm never going to catch him. I'm never going to become him." And you know what? That's okay, because that gives me someone to chase. That's the beauty of it. The chase, the pursuit, the journey. Success isn't a finish line. It's not a trophy. It's not one big moment. Success is a process, slow, deliberate, often invisible. It's not built in a day. It's built in the small choices, the consistent effort, the quiet disciplines that nobody sees. And failure. Failure isn't sudden either. You don't fall apart overnight. It's the small things, the little habits, the moments you stop paying attention. That's why I say you've got to watch. You've got to stay awake. You've got to pay attention to every single second, because you're either building something or breaking something down. You're either watering your dream or starving it. So watch yourself, watch your habits, watch your heart, and above all, choose love. Don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart. Don't let bitterness steal your joy. Don't let pain harden your soul. Because when you stop playing, when you stop laughing, when you stop loving, you stop living. I believe in manifestation. I believe in faith. I believe that when you put a rocket of desire out into the universe and you truly believe, you attract it back. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you believe for. You have to see it before you see it. You have to believe you already have it before it arrives. That's the key. You've got to become acutely sensitized, aware, observant, awake to whether what you're doing is actually working or not. That awareness, that sensory acuity, that's real intelligence. Because intelligence isn't just about IQ or numbers or knowledge. Intelligence is about distinction. It's about how clearly you can see reality. It's how many details you can notice, how many patterns you can recognize. It's about saying something's off. I need to adjust, or this is working. I need to double down. That's intelligence. And right now you might be facing something that feels too big. You might be in a place that feels too heavy. You might be thinking, I can't handle this. But I'm here to tell you, you can handle this. You just haven't figured it out yet. And that's okay, because this is your training period. This is your tuition. This is what you pay to learn what you don't know yet. You're not failing. You're in class. And just because you don't know how to do it yet, doesn't mean you can't. Other people have done it. So can you. You don't need to be Einstein. You just need to be teachable. Get around people who know more than you. Find mentors. Read books. Attend workshops. Watch the ones who've done it right. Success leaves clues. Follow them. Learn how to manage your life, your business, your time, your emotions. Change the way you see yourself, because how you see yourself determines how you show up. And here's a truth you've got to remember. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to take care of your dream like you will. It's your responsibility, your destiny, your baby. Tend to the details, protect it, build it, and don't get discouraged when you fall. Because the most successful people in any field, the ones standing at the top, are usually the ones who've failed the most. They've stumbled. They've fallen. They've been rejected, broken, and overlooked again and again. The only difference is they kept going. The difference between the successful and the average isn't strength. It isn't knowledge. It's will. Will to endure. Will to learn. Will to rise again. You've got what it takes. You just have to decide. Decide to stay in the fight. Decide to keep believing. Decide to keep chasing that hero, the one 10 years ahead, because that version of you is calling. He's wiser, stronger, more peaceful. He's been through the fire, and he's still standing. But he doesn't come to you. You've got to go to him. So keep moving. Keep becoming. Keep chasing. You must experience all of what this life is before you go. The joy, the pain, the struggle, the triumph, because that's what it means to live. Don't shrink from life. Don't hide from challenges. Don't fear failure. Experience it. Learn from it. Let it shape you, not break you. Because when you truly live, when you truly experience this life in all its fullness, you stop asking, why me? And you start saying, try me. It's all up to you. The hero you're chasing, the dream you're building, the life you're living, it's all up to you. In a world that constantly teaches us to look outward for answers, to seek validation from others, to chase success that can be measured and happiness that can be bought, We've forgotten something sacred. We've forgotten that the answer isn't out there. It's within. We're taught to believe that the right job will make us happy, that the right amount of money will finally give us peace, that if we could just get that one opportunity, that one promotion, that one relationship, then we'd be fulfilled. But the truth is, no external thing can fill a void that was never meant to be filled from the outside. The answer is already in you. The strength you're searching for is already within your soul. The peace you crave has been sitting in silence, waiting for you to listen. The direction you're looking for, it's not in the noise, it's in the stillness. You already have it. You already hold the key. But the question is, will you unlock it? Will you unleash it? Will you step into the truth of who you are meant to be? Will you give what's inside of you to the world? Will you own your power? Will you stop living small and start walking in the fullness of your potential? Because deep down you already know you were meant for more. You were designed for greatness. You were built with intention. And yes, the journey will require courage. Because to become who you were created to be, you have to let go of who the world told you to be. You have to unlearn the noise, the fear, the conditioning. You have to face yourself. Reinvention isn't easy. It demands humility, patience, and faith. It asks you to break the bow that's strung too tight, because when you're stretched beyond balance, you break. See, life is not meant to be lived on one extreme. The bow, too tightly strung, is easily broken. And that's one of the greatest lessons you'll ever learn. That balance is a beautiful thing. You can be disciplined and joyful. You can be focused and free. You can be driven and at peace. You don't have to live at war with yourself. So, yes, be monomaniacal about your mission. Be obsessed with your purpose. Be relentless in chasing your high-value targets. Those goals that set your soul on fire. Wake up every day with a plan, with discipline, with clarity. Execute, deliver. Do what you said you would do, but also reward yourself. Build joy into the journey. Build grace into the grind. Because when you celebrate the small wins, when you pause to breathe, when you allow yourself to experience gratitude in the midst of progress, you send a powerful message to your conscious and subconscious mind that this path you're walking, this daily act of showing up, is a beautiful thing. It's not punishment. It's not pressure. It's purpose. You begin to love the process. And when you love the process, you build something sacred. Momentum. Momentum is magic. It's the invisible force that turns small beginnings into unstoppable motion. In The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, there's a whole chapter on it. Momentum builds like a skier going downhill. You start slow, tentative, cautious. But with every small move, every push forward, every bit of courage, you gain speed. You gain rhythm. Before you know it, you're gliding, flowing, accelerating. And the very thing that once felt uncertain now feels natural. People often ask, where do I start? How do I begin? I want to start a business. I want to find love. I want to create art. I want to live with purpose. I want to multiply my finances. I want to finally become the person I know I can be. But where do I start? The answer is simple. You just start. There is great power in the start. There's divine energy in the moment you move. You don't wait for clarity to begin. Clarity comes because you begin. When you start, life starts responding. When you act, the universe aligns. When you move, grace meets you halfway. Doors that were closed begin to open. People you need begin to appear. What you thought was hidden begins to reveal itself. The act of starting is an act of faith. And faith is what turns possibility into reality. God didn't create you to live in fear. He created you to live in courage. Because He knows life will test you. You will face challenges that demand more than desire. They'll demand bravery. You'll meet situations that ask you to choose between comfort and calling, between safety and growth, between fitting in and standing out. And, in those moments, courage is what carries you. Courage to say no when the world says yes. Courage to say yes when fear screams no. Courage to walk away from what doesn't serve you and toward what aligns with your truth. Courage to follow conviction when it's lonely. Courage to speak life when it's easier to stay silent. Courage to believe when logic says give up. That's the kind of courage this world needs. Not the kind that floats. Not the kind that bends with every situation. Not the kind that changes with the crowd, but the kind that stands, anchored in what's right, rooted in faith, unmoved by fear. Most people live their lives powered by fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of what others might think. They play small because they think safety is protection. But safety is a cage when courage is calling. You, however, are not called to live small. You are called to live bold. You are called to live free. As a believer, you're not meant to be guided by fear, but by faith, by the quiet knowing that the one who called you will carry you. Faith that says, I may not see it yet, but I believe it's already mine. Faith that says, the storm may rage, but I'm anchored. Faith that says, this mountain will move, and if not, I'll climb it. So don't let fear silence your heart. Don't let doubt dim your vision. Don't let failure convince you to quit. Start, move, build, fall, rise, repeat. Keep walking the path. Keep chasing your purpose. Keep uncovering the strength within you. You don't need to have every step figured out. You just need to trust the next one, because the answer isn't out there. It's been within you all along. You've been looking for something you already have. Peace is within. Wisdom is within. Power is within. Purpose is within. And when you finally stop searching and start believing, you'll realize that the life you've been waiting for has been waiting for you. So start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Begin small, but begin. Live with balance, move with purpose, work with joy, rest with peace, and above all, walk with courage. Because when you start walking in alignment with who you truly are, life starts walking with you. You see, once you start walking in alignment, something shifts. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's quiet, subtle, sacred. You begin to feel it long before you see it. You start to sense that life isn't happening to you anymore. It's happening through you. You're not chasing purpose. You're becoming it. You're not begging for blessings. You're embodying the kind of person blessings are drawn to. You're no longer asking, when will it happen? But rather, how can I serve? Who can I become? What can I give? Because when you grow, everything grows with you. When you rise, your circumstances rise. And as you walk this path, you'll realize something powerful. Transformation doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't come with fanfare or recognition. Most of the time, it comes quietly, disguised as consistency. It comes in the mornings when you choose discipline over distraction. It comes in the nights when you choose faith over fear. It comes in the moments no one claps for, the hours no one sees, the choices no one celebrates. That's where you evolve. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, because the shadows are where roots grow. And if you tend to the roots, the tree will take care of itself. But don't mistake quiet seasons for wasted ones. Just because it's not visible yet doesn't mean it's not valuable. The seed spends most of its life underground before the world ever sees the flower. So don't despise the waiting. Don't curse the stillness. Don't grow impatient when things move slow. Growth takes time. Purpose takes patience. Preparation takes seasons. And the most dangerous thing you can do is rush what God is still refining. See, divine timing isn't delayed timing, it's perfect timing. And sometimes the reason the door hasn't opened is because you're still becoming the kind of person who can walk through it. Sometimes the reason the blessing hasn't arrived is because your hands are still holding what needs to be released. Sometimes the reason the vision hasn't manifested is because you're still building the capacity to carry it. So trust the process. Trust that where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. Not a step behind, not a second late. You're on schedule. And in the midst of all this, remember balance. Yes, stay focused, stay hungry, stay disciplined.